Tonight, this is News 8 Now.
The United States steps up bombing of targets in Baghdad.
And local anti-war protesters square off with police over where, when, and how to rally. Hello, everyone, and thanks for staying up late with us. I'm Maureen McGuire.
And I'm Kevin Dorn. The sandstorms have cleared, and the U.S. military says it has flown more than 600 bombing missions over Iraq today. Drew Levinson is in Kuwait tonight with the latest on Operation Iraqi Freedom.
The ninth night of Baghdad bombing was one of the most intense. Coalition missiles shook the Iraqi capital time after time, once again targeting Saddam Hussein's presidential compound. But Iraqi officials say the real battle for Baghdad will take place in the streets they claim will become graves for the enemy. But the military noose around Baghdad is slowly tightening. U.S. troops are inching their way north. They've crossed the Euphrates near the town of Kefal, using the cover of a sandstorm to move forward, something the Iraqis hadn't expected.
When the shamal lifted this morning, the enemy realized that, we were right in the middle of it.
Near Karbala, the 3rd Infantry Division is taking aim at Republican Guard units.
It will require the coalition forces moving through some Republican Guard units and destroying them or capturing them before you'll see the crumbling of the regime.
North of Baghdad, Kurdish fighters have crossed into Iraqi-controlled territory for the first time. So far, there have been no reports of fighting with Iraqi soldiers. U.S. paratroopers are also on the ground in the north. They're digging in around an airfield they secured on Wednesday. American officials now say 25 Marines were either wounded or are missing after a friendly fire incident near An Nazariya. Drew Levinson, CBS News, Kuwait.
In Rochester, it's police versus protester in a very public dispute over anti-war demonstrations. The chief of police wants a little cooperation, but as News 8's Nicole Johnson reports, protesters aren't budging.
What do we want? Peace! When do we want it? Now!
It's freedom of speech with a $20,000 price tag. To the protesters, it's their right, but to Police Chief Duffy, it's expensive.
Can a point be made without compromising some of the resources that we have and creating some of the costs that we are going to be incurring just based on time and location?
Last week, during rush hour, hundreds of protesters flooded downtown Rochester and tied up traffic. For the most part, demonstrators were peaceful, but they did break the law when they sat down in the middle of the street and would not move.
We stand by our decision to engage in this act of civil disobedience, to make it clear that there are large numbers of people in Rochester against this unjust war.
The 3 demonstrations in the past 2 weeks called for 90 police officers, who Chief Duffy says should have been patrolling city neighborhoods. And with 4 homicides in Rochester in the course of 5 days, pulling officers for protest duty is a problem.
I hate to pull one car out of Clinton section, Genesee section, out of Maple section or any place else, because to me that one car means a lot.
But protesters say,
I do not think 90 officer hours were necessary for this.
Barricades have been put in place since last week, and Chief Duffy says all officers will be in protective gear tomorrow.
I'm going to ensure that they are equipped so nobody gets hurt, so they will be in their full gear. I'm not saying stop it because of this. Move it. Find a location.
Protest organizers say they will not change the time or the place. In Rochester, Nicole Johnson, News 8 Now.
And another anti-war rally is scheduled in downtown Rochester for 4 p.m. tomorrow. 60 to 70 police officers will be scheduled there for duty.
The debate over war in Iraq is playing out in the hallways of Irondequoit High School. All this week, students are wearing armbands expressing their feelings about the war. Red armbands represent support. White armbands stand for opposition.
They are doing this appropriately. They have channeled their energies in a way that we would want young adults to do that. And I hope they see, as what I would hope they see in this building all the time, a supportive group of adults here hoping to graduate practicing citizens to this democracy of ours.
After school today, 10 students from each side debated the war. Teachers say for many high school students, this war is their first opportunity to exercise their right to free speech on a controversial issue. Now, we want to make you aware of a nonpartisan, non-political rally to support American servicemen and women. It's tomorrow at Frontier Field between 4 and 6 p.m. The public's invited. It's free, and we'll be there on the road tomorrow at 5 and 6 o'clock.
U.S. soldiers all over the world are about to receive the comforts of home thanks to people here at home. Items collected during a 2-week campaign were shipped off this afternoon from local Red Cross headquarters. The group called the Greater Rochester Comfort Corps collected items like candy and sunscreen, toiletries, and magazines from people in Monroe and Ontario counties. About 6 tons of items are on their way to U.S. soldiers overseas.
The president has asked Congress to foot the bill for the first phase of the war, $75 billion. $3 billion would go to Homeland Security. Well, New York Senator Hillary Clinton wants to up that by another $4 billion or so because she says local police and first responders still need the right equipment to deal with the terrorist attack.
I have legislation that would directly fund the people you were just referring to, our police, our firefighters, our sheriff's departments, our emergency responders. And that's what I would like to see happen. If the money goes to the states, we have found through many years of experience, it doesn't get where it's most needed in the most efficient manner.
Meantime, the county's first local Homeland Security town meeting was held in Greece tonight. Various Monroe County officials, including representatives from 911 and the Sheriff's Department, were on hand to answer questions about the county's preparedness if there was a terror attack in our area.
It looks like a lot of people's questions are being answered, and it's keeping a level of calm in the community. That's the primary issue here, is to let people know that we are prepared and that we have programs, we have protocols, and there is great coordination among all of the people here.
The next town meeting scheduled for Tuesday, April 1st at the Penfield Community Center.
In Henrietta tonight, a man suffered a severe electrical shock while running along railroad tracks. Sheriff's deputies tell News 8 Now the victim was crossing the tracks near the Brighton-Henrietta Town Line Road with a group of other runners. And he apparently stepped in some standing water and then grabbed a line. That line was electrically charged. Paramedics administered CPR. He was taken to Strong Hospital. No word on his identity or his condition.
State Education Commissioner Richard Mills says he expects the Fairport School District to follow the law when it comes to the school budget. The board recently voted not to submit a school budget to voters until the state legislature passes its budget. That's a violation of law, but Commissioner Mills did not say what penalties the Fairport School Board could expect. For its part, the state legislature says it doesn't expect to pass a budget by the April 1st deadline. That would be the 19th year in a row.
Monroe Community College is soon to become one of the few community colleges in the state with on-campus housing. Construction is nearing completion on the 3-building, 410-bed residence facility at MCC. It'll be available to full-time students. Each suite is fully furnished. They have 2 bathrooms, and already a lot of students have applied.
A better opportunity to relate to other students, to see what it's like to live on their own, to practice more responsibility with things, and we don't really get that here.
The dorms are expected to be finished in time for the beginning of fall semester.
Now, Storm Watch 8 weather with meteorologist Scott Hetzko.
Let's go back a month to about February 20th when we already had about 120 inches of snow, well on our way to a record of 161.7 set back in 1950 and 1960. Then this happened. Nothing. We've only had about 10 inches of snow since February 20th, over a month. Pretty remarkable given what we had prior to that. And March is even more astounding. Look at these numbers since 1994. Now you look at 2003 in yellow. So far this month, only 4.9 inches of snow. Compare that to 2001 or 1999, where those 2 months had over 40 inches of snow in each month. And every month even before that in the 20s or over 10 inches. So certainly a snow drought, a welcome break, I think most would say, watching the TV tonight. There's the weather almanac. 51 and 33 go the temperatures for now. Yesterday, 1 year ago yesterday, 40 degrees and partly sunny. The records on the screen right now, 80 and 4 in 1966. There are the current stats for you. 44 over 31. Making that relative humidity a 65%. The winds out of the east at this hour, and they're getting rather strong. You can see they are sustained as of the midnight observation out of the east at 10. Barometer falling. We have an approaching low pressure and a pretty strong cold front that's going to play big tricks on our weather soon. Here is your Thursday afternoon. Let me step out. What you're looking at here is a batch of cirrocumulus and alto cumulus and stratus clouds moving in, mid and upper level clouds in the atmosphere as they came in, kind of made the sun fuzzy-ish, but certainly still gave us a mostly sunny day. You can see right here on satellite and radar, there are the clouds streaming in from that warm air trying to come in over that existing colder dome. Back up to the west, we see north of Kalamazoo some rain showers, and boy, they are really, really close now to St. Catharines, Ontario. And we think maybe in the southern part of Ontario, if you're watching from there, a chance for a couple of showers overnight tonight. Storm flight, we're flying back up to where there's a pretty good snowstorm happening up near Marquette, Michigan at this hour. Temperatures in the 30s and 20s and snowing pretty good in this area. We're showing you the jet stream and digging low pressure in the upper levels near Denver, driving cold air south. As that happens always in the east, you flood warm air on the east side of a trough of a jet stream. So this is the amplified pattern, so to speak, that's going to be with us through the next 24 to 48 hours as we go. And you can see the temperature difference. Look at Moosonee, 5 degrees, 46 in Detroit, Motor City, 66 St. Louis, and colder to the north and west. So eventually this cold air, although a little modified, will be here by the second half of the weekend. Partly cloudy, a feisty, frisky breeze developing by morning. Temperatures staying where they are about now, right around 40, and may begin to rise as we go through tomorrow morning. There is later on Friday, we have much warmer air driven by a strong southeast wind, high pressure to the east, warm front to the west, as are the showers. So most of today, although windy, will be dry. And look at that temperature. Nice. 67. Everyone's happy, right? Sure you are. Here's the sun up tomorrow, 6 a.m. It's heading on down at 6:32 later today. Now that we're officially at Friday, I say yippee. Here are the next 5 days of your life. 62 on Saturday. Now the temperature forecast incredibly difficult for tomorrow. The front takes an extra hour. We go up to 65. If it gets through earlier, we go in the 50s and lower, but no doubt colder Sunday and Monday, 30s and 40s.
Oh yeah.
So
Big difference.
hang in there, enjoy tomorrow, and enjoy early Saturday.
Will do.
Okay.
Thanks, Scotty.
Yep.
Time now for sports headlines. Dave Yates in tonight for John Kutchko.
Hi, Dave.
Hey, good morning, guys.
Good morning to you, too, Dave.
We're going to stick with the weather theme a little bit. The Sunshine State not exactly living up to its name. Weather in Florida throwing a wrench in round one of the Players' Championship. Tiger Woods, well, his wrenches weren't working too good early on. A couple bogeys on the front. He came to the 17th at 1 over, but he would change it thanks to that tee shot of birdie. He finished at even par. Talk about struggling. Billy Mayfair, shanks for the memories. A 90-degree shot, not what you want to do. 5 tied at 4 under, play suspended by lightning later on. Hey, also later on, the ladies teeing up for their first major of the season. The Sweet 16 gets underway. Some great ball from tonight from the West and Midwest. And the Bills aren't done shopping for free agents. I'll tell you who they're looking at now. That and more coming up later on in sports.
Thanks, Dave.
Coming up on News 8 now at 11.
Well, a local mom thought she was buying a storybook surprise for her child. Instead, she found part of a sex manual. Find out more in Steve Levine's 8 on Your Side report. We'll be back in just 60 seconds.
So this coffee house has a special on Supremo for $1. Then the guy charges you extra for cream, for sugar, even the stirring thing. You wouldn't put up with it when you buy a cup of coffee. Why put up with it when you buy tires? With Dunn Tires out-the-door pricing, you never get charged extra for things like valve stems or tire disposal. So in the long run, you always end up with the lowest price. Don't be left with a bitter taste in your mouth.
Why pay more anywhere else? Dunn does it best. Now, only in theaters. Tigger, Pooh, and all their friends are back in a big new movie critics call delightful, magical, the best Pooh film yet. Piglet's big movie, rated G, featuring new songs by Carly Simon. Now in theaters.
Oh, joy. For more news, more weather, more sports, it's just a click away. WROC-TV.com. Get there faster with Roadrunner High-Speed Online, powered by LogicalSolutions.net and News 8 Now. See the difference every day. You're watching News 8 Now.
The priest and the rabbi, better known as the God Squad, say they're praying for a quick resolution to the war in Iraq. More than 1,000 people turned out to hear from Monsignor Thomas Hartman and Rabbi Mark Gelman, who travel the country spreading the message of religious tolerance.
We know too much about how we're different and not enough about how we're the same. And also, due to the circumstances, We need to learn about the Muslim faith, what people think, and what they feel, because after the war is over, we're still going to have to patch up a lot of the human spirit.
Father Hartman and Rabbi Gelman also offered up prayers for U.S. troops and their families. This was their second visit to Rochester.
Well, there's more good news for people who have been saving big on prescription drugs because of the efforts of a local man. Charlie Bell's Medicine Express informs people about how to get prescriptions filled in Canada. Some people save 80% by doing that, but they also had to pay a doctor's fee and shipping costs, that is, until now. Bell says the Canadian drug companies he works with have just told him they'll pick up those costs.
Which is great, because now that same $140 would buy a person a year's supply of tamoxifen.
Bell's also worked a deal with a Canadian dental firm, which will work on your teeth for significantly less than what it costs here. Now, to learn more about Medicine Express, you can call that number, 585-671-0916. Their service is free of charge.
Thomas the Train is a popular children's storybook character, but he's getting the thumbs down from some parents. In this 8 on Your Side report, Steve Levine finds out how Thomas ended up sharing the page with an adult sex manual.
This is the story of Thomas the Tank Engine, a beloved children's character whose adventures sometimes include colorful tents, funny clowns, and a star guide to sex.
It's morally wrong.
That was Lynn Gilbert's thought when the title, Star Guide to Sex, showed up on Thomas's inside back cover. The astrology book title appeared when this sound effects board became unglued. While a 4-year-old was reading about Thomas's noisy surprise, Lynn got a big surprise of her own.
And when you have the word Star Guide to Sex right next to, Thomas the Train, it's inappropriate.
8 on Your Sides learned Thomas and the sex manual should never have been pressed together. The Illinois publisher tells us the mistake happened when its printer, based in China, accidentally glued recycled sex book leftovers inside the storybook instead of blank paper.
Oh, I can't believe this. When they had to glue this onto here, wouldn't you think they'd see this?
Thomas the Tank Engine isn't the only storybook victim. Some sing-along Barney books also received the bad glue job.
Parents didn't just start reading to their kids from these misprinted books. The publisher found out about the mistake years ago. This tank adventure was bought from a store just a few weeks ago.
I don't believe, the way I look at it, that they really did a very active job in trying to retrieve these books.
Publications International says only a handful of these books were misprinted. The company was not legally required to recall the storybooks because the mistake is not a safety hazard. The company says it went to great lengths to notify the public about the error several years ago and still offer parents like Lynn a replacement.
That's irrelevant. What's most important now is getting whatever books may remain on the shelves off the shelves.
With 8 on Your Side, Steve Levine, News 8 Now.
Well, if you discover your book contains the sex material inside, you can contact the publisher at 847-676-3470. Steve says the book was bought at Walmart. After he contacted the chain, all affected books still on the store shelves in our area were removed.
Now, Storm Watch 8 weather with meteorologist Scott Hetzko.
Kids are going to be getting up in a couple hours. Scott's going to tell us what the weather's going to be like at the bus stop.
Hey,
very dramatic.
If I am anything, I am a creature of habit. Let's give you the school bus forecast. If you're not asleep yet, well, if you were asleep, you wouldn't be listening to me. But anyway, here it is. We're talking about temperatures warmer to the south. Look at Cincinnati, mid-50s for there and Pittsburgh. And we do believe that air mass will slowly get here. So at the bus stop in less than 8 hours or 7 hours, a mighty wind, warmer air on the way, no coat required tomorrow as we hit the upper 60s, guys.
Love that mighty wind.
You love that mighty warm air.
Yeah, that's right.
Coming up in sports, the women tee off their first major of the year.
Also, we're going to check out the opening night of the NCAA Sweet 16. Dave's back with highlights.
By closing corporate loopholes and asking the wealthiest New Yorkers to pay just a little more, we can stop drastic health care cuts. Tell Albany, please, make a better choice.
Tired of disconnects, busy signals, paying for a second phone line? Stop wasting time and money. Get Roadrunner. Roadrunner is up to 50 times faster than dial-up. And right now, you can get Roadrunner for only 99 cents a day for 6 months. Just think, Roadrunner in your home within 5 days, and you'll save up to 35% for the next 6 months. This is the best offer of the year. Call 756-BEEP today.
We love it!
Unlock the door to your child's educational success
with News 8 Now and HSBC Student Leaders Scholarship.
Download an application at WROC-TV.com.
Everyone needs a hand now and then, and some can use a hand a little more often, which is why so many people feel so at home in Atria Assisted Living communities. We're not nursing homes. Instead, we make things easier by being here with first-class amenities.
Atria Assisted Living Adult Home is the featured guest for this month's Senior Living Seminar. If your parents are considering a senior community, you should attend the free seminar on April 3rd at WROC Channel 8. Limited seating, RSVP at 224-8888, extension 312.
Now, News 8 Sports with Dave Yates.
Yes, the Sweet 16 tipping off tonight with 4 games going on, including in the West, where #1 Arizona was taking on Notre Dame. Let's head out there, shall we? Okay, let's go. First half, ND hold to their own. Chris Thomas to steal up to Torrin Francis, who puts it down. Zone it too much, though. Luke Walton, look at this one. How does he get it to go? Must have been something Daddy taught him. He's awful proud. Walton had 16 points, 88-71. Arizona gets the win. The other early game, Midwest, top seeded Kentucky and Wisconsin. Badgers, Kirk Penny, 3 from the corner. He had 20 on the night. Cats had their hands full, but you don't win 25 straight without winning tight ones. Keith Bogans, the nice bucket right here. Sprained an ankle later. Not sure if he's going to be able to go the rest of the way. Then off the steal, Chuck Hayes with a slam, 63-57 Kentucky. Moving on, Duke and Kansas in a beauty. Later on, Blue Devils running. Dante Jones with a dunk puts them up by 2. KU's Nick Collison takes over after that. On the break, down the lane, the nice little finger roll, and then it's a little deja vu all over again. Collison with 33 of his team's 69 points. They get the win 69-65. And what a great game between Pitt and Marquette tonight. Just over 3 to play. Pitt down by 11. Brendan Knight pretty much takes over. Drives, dishes to Siobhan Troutman for 2. Somehow that thing goes, plus the foul. Next time down, same combination. Caps an 11-1 run, makes it a 1-point game, but Marquette will seal it with this Dwayne Wade bucket as the shot clock runs down. 77-74, Marquette moves on. Well, it was not exactly the start they wanted at the Players' Championship. Strong storms in the morning delayed the start by half an hour. Then more bad weather suspended play this afternoon. Down on the TPC at Sawgrass, Tiger Woods on number 17 comes to the Island Green 1 over par. But thanks to this tee shot, he would leave it at even par, and that is exactly how we finished up after 1 round. 5 tied for lead of 4 under, including Kevin Sutherland. Great birdie roll on the 12th, just enough to get it to drop. Fred Couples would take over the lead with this putt on number 1. He gave 2 back, though. He's at 300. Jeff Sluman even, playing 17. Like I said, Lightning has suspended play. They'll pick it up at 7:30. The ladies playing their first major, the Nabisco Championship. Hey, guess who's leading? Annika Sorenstam. There's something new for you. Looking for her 3rd straight victory in this championship. After a first bogey, bounces back with a birdie on 17. Then on 18, caps off a 68 with another birdie. 2-shot lead over 4 other players. The Wings open their season in just 7 days at Syracuse. There's at least one fan whose enjoyment of the games doesn't hinge on a win or loss. Tommy is the 42-year-old brother-in-law of manager Phil Roof. Down syndrome gives him the abilities of a 5 or 6-year-old, but his biggest thrill is being a part of the team. He almost gets as much from it as the players do.
Everyone's happy to see him. He's fun, he's funny, his character, and it's just fun. Every day I go in there, I look forward to that when the game's over so I can see him. And I mean, if you do see him, you'll know why.
Well, tomorrow could be a very busy day in Orchard Park. Reports are the Bills will be talking to a trio of free agents, including former Bill Sam Gash. The big fullback won a Super Bowl 3 years ago with the Ravens. The season after he left Buffalo, also slated to pay a visit, running back Alondis Gary of the Broncos, and Kadri Ishmael, an 11-year vet who is a Syracuse product. So the wheeling and dealing never stopping in the offseason.
I saw that picture of Flutie right away, and I was like, what?
No, I don't see that happening.
Thanks, Dave.
Yep.
Thanks, Dave. Mayor Johnson's political future is the talk of the town and of our talking point panel. We'll hear from them next.
First of all, let's check what happened on Wall Street today. The Dow dropped 28, the NASDAQ off 3. The S&P 500 fell almost 1.5. Now we'll look at stocks of local interest.
Our big sale continues at Diagardi Auto Sales with 3 great examples. A 1998 Dodge Ram pickup 4x4 for only $199 a month. Or a 1998 Dakota Sport. Now this truck is not perfect, but for $119 a month, I want you to come down and take a look at it. Or a 2000 Jeep Grand Cherokee for only $199 a month. There's only one place, Diagardi Auto Sales, Ridge at Culver. Call us at 266-9000.
Have a problem that needs results? Then call 8 on your side Steve Levine at 224-8888 extension 123. With News 8 Now, there is a difference every day.
Everybody gets a great deal.
Spring into low payments at Webster Ford. For a limited time, drive a new XR3 Focus. Sporty, over 30 miles per gallon, now $129 per month. Or own a 03 Taurus LX. Classy, economical, safe, only $209 per month. Folks, this is huge. Don't miss our Spring into Low Payments event. We offer you a great deal. At Webster Ford, we treat you like family.
Everybody gets a great deal.
The 2003 Chevy Malibu. V6, automatic, and air, standard. GM owners and lessees who are New York residents can lease a 2003 Malibu for around $199 a month. Call for important lease details. Whenever you want more in your world, we'll be there. See your local Chevy dealer today.
I go to school in Brighton. Most of my friends have Roadrunner, and those who don't seem to be spending a lot of time at my house on my computer. I use it for downloading music, playing games, talking to my friends. When I want to play a game online, I just click on the link and it's downloaded fast with Roadrunner, like this. I don't have to wait for it to download. I can talk to my friends online anytime I want, and with Roadrunner, it doesn't tie up the phone lines. My mom's happy about that one. Roadrunner, I love it. My name is Bailey, and I go to school in Brighton.
Our big sale continues at Diagardi Auto Sales with 3 great examples. A 1998 Dodge Ram pickup 4x4 for only $199 a month. Or a 1998 Dakota Sport. Now this truck is not perfect, but for $119 a month, I want you to come down and take a look at it. Or a 2000 Jeep Grand Cherokee for only $199 a month. There's only one place, Diagardi Auto Sales, Ridge at Culver. Call us at 266-9000.
You're watching News 8 Now.
All right, now, Scott's going to take a... I'm sorry tonight. Those little weather sound things, it's been throwing me all night long. I
We're not on
apologize.
the 8s because of basketball. We're on the 5s and the 3s. And we don't know what's going on.
Scott is going to take a look at weather overseas right now, though.
Yeah, we're going to look at the Middle East. We're all sharing Friday now. They are 8 hours ahead of us, and they have sun, and they will all day. Temperatures cool in the 60s and 70s down in Kuwait City, breezy. However, it does look like the next couple days temperatures will soar into the 70s and 80s by the beginning of next week.
All right, thanks, Scott.
Thanks, Scott. Rochester Mayor Bill Johnson is expected to announce Saturday that he is running for Monroe County Executive.
Tonight, our Talking Point panel of Rick Dollinger, Kurt Smith, and Ted O'Brien try to answer the question, can Johnson win?
To be or not to be, the musings of Shakespeare's Hamlet. To run or not to run, the musings of Rochester Mayor William A. Johnson, Jr. The question is no longer whether he's going to run. Channel 8 announced earlier this week that he would. The question now is, Kurt, will he win?
Well, I will use Shakespeare, too. Bill Johnson hopes that what Shakespeare talked about happens to Republicans. When sorrows come, they come not in single spies, but as battalions. Today, I think Bill Johnson would probably lose to Maggie Brooks. She, of course, the presumptive and apparent nominee by the Republicans for county executive. But this race is eminently winnable. I think a great deal depends on the kind of strategy, the kind of architect, the kind of constituencies that the mayor appeals to. If he does, he can win.
Ted O'Brien, the battle's going to be fought in the suburbs. What does the mayor have to do to win there?
Well, I think we all got to recognize this time to quote Shakespeare on "out damn gop." Is that what it should be? But at any rate, I think this race is going to be decided on this. Is this going to be a soundbite campaign, in which case Maggie Brooks and Republicans probably win? They got more money and they can play to people's fears. Or is this going to be a thoughtful campaign? Are people going to be interested, drawn into this campaign? If they are, if they're concerned about the future of this region, Bill Johnson has the message.
Kurt Smith, Ted O'Brien says the intellect may win out. Is that possible in this race? We learned a long time ago in politics, you can't run campaigns of substance. Will this be different?
Well, it's not a time to try to educate people. There will be some bright people that support Maggie Brooks as well. Look, she'll run a very scripted campaign. The mayor will try to smoke her out, in essence, having one-on-one forums. That'll be a secret. Also, he's got to say, look, I am the real social and cultural conservative in the race in terms of values, in terms of religion. I'd put him at every Protestant church between now and the election on Sunday. I think if he appeals to those, this race, which right now probably a 10 to 12 point Maggie Brooks lead, could be dead even by Election Day.
That's the issue. Substance over script. I'm Rick Dollinger with his fellow Shakespeareans, Kurt Smith and Ted O'Brien, for Talking Point.
We've got your winning lottery numbers in just a moment.
News 8 Now's Experience Today program has teachers talking.
The world is changing so fast that you really have to be in touch with the news.
Current events are important because there's going to be a direct link to every current event that goes on and to the material they're learning about.
It makes teaching very relevant and very current.
See what your children will say when they start to experience today and every day to the fullest. Call for information from Bryant and Stratton, USA Today, and News 8 Now.
Critics call Dreamcatcher phenomenal.
Come with me, Owen. I'll show you things you wish you'd never seen.
Terrifying. A real nail-biter from start to finish. You're not Jonesy. Dreamcatcher, rated R. Now playing.
Now during the National Caravan event, get the best values in America from Dodge. Take our best products like Dodge Caravan, the best-selling minivan ever, with available power sliding doors and power rear hatch. Plus our best warranty, Dodge's fully transferable 770 powertrain limited warranty. Plus our best deals, like up to $4,000 in cash allowances or 0% financing for 60 months. Add it all up, it equals the best values in America.
Hear that? It's the sound of the final minutes of Time Warner Cable's Mega Movie Marathon. If you don't have cable, this is your chance to get over 200 channels of digital cable for just $39.95 a month for 3 months. Plus, get 32 premium movie channels free. 6 HBO, 9 Showtime, Stars, Encore, Cinemax, the Movie Channel, thousands of movies from the latest to the greatest free for 3 months. It's Time Warner's Mega Movie Marathon. Hurry, time is almost up. Call 1-800-756-7956 now.
We're kicking off our spring sale at Diagardi Auto Sales with some great spring buys. A 2000 Ford Windstar SEL with leather fully loaded for only $229 a month. Or a 2000 Grand Plymouth Voyager for only $199 a month. Or a 2000 Jeep Cherokee Sport with only 36,000 miles for $199 a month. There's only one place, Diagardi Auto Sales, Ridge at Culver. Call us at 266-9000.
What's up, baby?
Bringing Down the House is the #1 movie 3 weeks in a row.
Shazam.
And it's the #1 comedy of the year. Steve Martin, Queen Latifah.
You got me straight tripping, boo.
Bringing Down the House. Rated PG-13, boo. Now playing.
And now here's a look at your winning lottery numbers. The Daily 3174. The win for tonight, 5151.
And that's News 8 Now. The Late Show with David Letterman is next. Among his guests tonight, Coach John Gruden. He's with Tampa Bay.
Yeah, Super Bowl champs. Way to go, Maureen.
Thanks, Ken.
Thanks for joining us. Thanks for staying up late with us. See you tomorrow.
Thanks for watching News 8 Now at 11. Please email your comments or story ideas to newsroom@WROC-TV.com. Coming up in just 1 minute, The Late Show with David Letterman. And be sure to join us for Sunrise tomorrow morning at 5 a.m.